Hi friends, welcome to AKP Study Circle. In the today's video, you will learn about kinematics from the basics. Kinematics means, kinema means motion. It is the study of motion of objects. Kinematics means study of motion of objects without considering the cause. Without considering cause. And here how object move you are learning. Okay, how object move. You are not going to learn about why it moves. Why it moves you will learn in dynamics. Okay, in case of kinematics you will learn about how object moves. And you see, in the branch of physics you have mechanics. In mechanics, you have three terms like statics, kinematics and dynamics. Just understand. In case of dynamics, in case of statics, it is a study of motion of objects at equilibrium force. Study of motion of objects at equilibrium force in case of statics. In case of kinematics, it is a study of motion of objects without considering the cause. Without considering the cause, that is how objects move you will learn. You are not going to learn about why it moves. You will learn about in dynamics why it moves. Okay. And dynamics means study of motion of objects by considering the cause. By considering the cause, we can say in dynamics. And here you know that in mechanics, it is a study of motion of particles of body is called as mechanics. Okay. In this main topics are distance and displacement and speed and velocity. Okay. Now in this class you will learn about what is distance and displacement and the problem relevant to these two topics. So if you understand well regarding distance and displacement, you can know about speed. Speed means you know that distance by time, that is distance traveled by time taken. Velocity means displacement by time taken. Okay. So learn about these two now. And let us consider 2 points. For understanding this distance and displacement, just take 2 points. This is 1 point and so this is point A and this is point B. Okay. So from reaching from point A to B, you are traveling this path. Okay. You are traveling this path and you are reaching this point B. Okay. This is one path. And one more path, you are traveling from, you are here. Okay. You are here. You are traveling from A to B. Like in this path you are going. Okay. In this path you are traveling. And next time you are traveling in this path. Directly you are going to point B. So this is a distance and this is also distance. And what is that distance means? Distance means total path covered. What we can say simply? Total path covered. Total path covered is distance. Okay. Displacement means shortest path. Shortest path is called as displacement. Again I am repeating. Distance means total path covered. Total path covered is distance and displacement means shortest path. So in this case, in the first case, this is a case 1 and let it be this is a case 2 and this is a case 3. In the case 1, distance is greater than displacement. Why? Because displacement is the shortest path from A to B. Shortest path from A to B, this is always greater than displacement. Okay. So in this case what happens? distance is equals to displacement. In this case, distance is greater than displacement. What we can say based on this? One equation we can get. Distance is greater than or equals to displacement. Okay. Distance is always greater than the displacement. At this point, it is equal to displacement. And second point, what we can say, distance is a scalar quantity. Okay. Distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. From A to B in particular direction you will take. From A to B in particular direction you will take for displacement. Okay. Distance you will take in random direction. You won't follow particular direction. Okay. It keep on changes. Okay. In case of displacement, particular direction only it follows. So based on this, what you can say? In some questions they will ask you what is the ratio of distance and displacement. Distance and displacement they will ask you, it is always greater than 1. Okay. And I will take few examples and in that we have to calculate distance and displacement so that we can understand better regarding distance and displacement. The first example, you have to calculate distance and displacement you have to calculate. Okay. I will give you. So from point A, just example, just consider you are standing here in a circular track. For example, this is a running race in a circular track. In a circular track, a man is traveling in circular way. Okay. From point A he started. From point A he started and he is running in this direction. Okay. For example I am telling he is running in this direction from A to, you see, from starting point to ending point where he is going, and this is the ending point. Now you tell me what is the distance and displacement in this case. And what is the distance? Distance means you know that it is a total path covered. What is the total path covered here? Total path covered is the perimeter of the circle, that is 2 pi r. Okay. Perimeter of circle is 2 pi r. This is the total path covered. So what we can say is distance is 2 pi r. So in case of displacement, what is the displacement? The gap between final position and initial position. This is the initial position and final position also same position. So what you can say displacement? Displacement is 0 only here. Because displacement is shortest path between initial and final position. Here initial and final position is at same point, that is we have taken 0 here. Take another example now. And just take, this is a first example, this is a second example. In second example, a man started from point A. For example, here is a man. A man started from point A and he traveled up to, so is running in circular track. For example, he traveled up to for example point B. Okay. At point B he stopped. Okay. So now you calculate distance and displacement. So in the circular track you traveled up to half of the distance only. What is the total distance? Here total distance traveled is nothing but a perimeter of the circle. Here half the distance only you traveled. So what you can say? What you can take here? That is total perimeter 2 pi r, that is 2 pi r by 2. So you will get pi r as the distance traveled. So in case of displacement, you know the radius is r. This is the radius r. Okay. So in this case, what is the displacement? Final position and initial position gap you have to take. Okay. So join this A and B point, and this is the radius r, and if this is the r, from all sides from origin the radius is same only. So this is r. Okay. This one is the r, this one is r. Total 2r you are getting as the displacement. Displacement is nothing but a what? Shortest path between initial and final position. From initial position and final position, shortest path you have to take for displacement. R plus r, 2r you are getting. Displacement is total 2 pi r by 2, that is pi r. Hope you understood. Take third example. From point a man started from point A and traveled up to 1/4 of the circle. Okay, 1/4 of the circular track, for example. From point A to B only he traveled. From point A to B only he traveled. From point A to point B. So this much distance only he traveled. Then, and what is the distance and displacement? What is the distance and displacement? You see, what's the distance traveled here? So based on this, what I can write? This is the radius R, and join these 2 points, you will get the radius. You have to calculate the AB. So shortest distance means what? Total path covered. So total path is what? In circle, total path covered is 2 pi r perimeter. 2 pi r by 1/4 of the circle. 1/4 of the circle path covered. Total path covered is 2 pi r. Actually, total path 2 pi r. In that he covered only 1/4 only. That means 1/4 means 1/4. 2 pi r, that is pi r by 2 you are getting. Okay. In case of displacement, it is a shortest path between initial and final position. Okay, initial and final point. This is the initial point and this is the final point. Just join these two. Just I joined this A and B. It's not like straight line, just imagine. Okay, don't worry. So get this AB point. So based on the Pythagoras, you can know it is side square plus side, that is hypotenuse square is equals to, that is hypotenuse equal to root over base and opposite, that is r square plus r square root over 2r square. What you will get? Root 2 into root r square, square root cancel, that is root 2 into r you are getting. So this is the shortest path between A and B, that is root 2r. So based on the Pythagoras, what you can write? Hypotenuse equal to square root of this base or one side square plus other side square you can write. Okay. And this is the fourth example, and all these examples very much useful in the problems. Okay, that is why I am covering all type of models. And in this case, a person is here, for example, there also you can take, no problem. A person is here and he covered some portion of the arc length only. Okay, he started here and traveled up to this point, for example. Okay, he traveled up to this point. This portion he covered. Okay. Okay, now he is asking what is the distance and displacement. If you know distance and displacement, you see. So half of the semicircle, complete semicircle, 1/4 of the semicircle, 1/4 of the circle, you can easily calculate. So when they give you like this, what you have to do? Some arc length only he traveled. Okay, some arc length only he traveled. He is asking about distance. In this case, what you have to do? So you know this is the radius. This is the radius of the circle, and you know from all sides, from the origin, from all points on the circle to origin, it is radius r only. Okay, just to join from origin. So this is the radius r and this is the radius r. So this portion from A to B is traveling. So this portion you have to calculate. So what is the distance covered here? That is a theta given. So in this case, the direct formula is r into theta. The radius of the circle into the angle, just multiply, you will get the required answer. Okay. So in case of displacement, you see, so how do you calculate displacement? You see, just starting point is A and final point is B. Just join directly. That is the shortest path you take. So this path you have to calculate. So for calculating this path, just bisect this, just join this. Then it will be, this becomes theta by 2, this becomes theta by 2, and this becomes theta by 2. Okay. So let it be, in this total path, this is x and remaining portion is x. Okay, it's not appearing clearly, just understand. This is x and remaining portion this is x. Okay, so separately I am drawing, just see once. And A and B points I am taking separately, you see, for better understanding. A and B, and this is the origin. Okay, this is the radius and this is the radius, you know. Total angle is theta, and bisect this. Then this angle becomes theta by 2. This becomes theta by 2, and remaining this one will be theta by 2 angle. Okay, so this opposite side both are equal only, you know, here let it be x and this is x. So what you have to, displacement 2x you have to calculate. Total distance from A to B 2x you have to calculate. How do you calculate? See properly. So at this angle you see, at this angle you take sin theta by 2. Sin theta by 2 equals to, at this angle, okay, at this angle you take sin theta by 2 equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. What is opposite side here? X by, what is the hypotenuse here? R. So sin theta by 2 equal to x by r. So based on this, what you can write? X is equals to r sin theta by 2 you can write. Okay, so x value r sin theta by 2 you are getting. So what is the displacement from A to B? That is 2x. X plus x, that is 2x. So in place of x, substitute here. That is a direct formula you can use in case of problems. So whatever the models that I am telling here, all will come in problems. Very, very important problems these are. 2r sin theta by 2. Directly this formula you can use. If they give you circle and if they give you only some portion of the arc length they travel, then what you can use? 2r sin theta by 2 for displacement. For distance you can use directly r into theta. R means radius of the circle they will give you, and the angle they will give you, you can directly calculate. And radius you can substitute, and angle you can substitute, directly you can get the answer for distance and displacement. So based on these calculations you can also calculate speed and velocity also. Okay, and this is about some basics regarding kinematics. And thanks for watching this video. Please like this video and share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.